What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live through the power of the internet. I've been practicing that all day, and I think I messed it up when I actually went live, unfortunately. How's it going, guys? So first, we're gonna look at stages that I never covered in both the Brawl episode and the Leftovers episode. And one of the ones that's most requested is Sonic the Hedgehog. Because I guess Sakurai told everybody that there's a lot more going on that you can't even see. And, I mean, I took a look, and I don't think I saw anything worthwhile. But, oh, what's going on here? 1 second. Didn't go the way I wanted. I wanted fixed camera so we don't see the camera jolting around while we're trying to boundary break. So, give me 1 moment.
Special Brawl!
Fixed. Nope, that's an angle.
Special Brawl! Choose your
Here we
character!
go. Okay. Anybody have any takers as far as which characters we should go up against? By the way, I'm going to be taking questions. Unfortunately, I can't constantly look at the chat because then I'd just be wasting all my time and your time. But I'm going to be trying to look at the chat as often as I can and answer any questions. So if you have any questions you have specifically for me, it can be about anything as long as it's appropriate, and I'll try to read it off and answer it. Okay, now we can finally get started. So, let's see. I got my keyboard over to the left, so you'll see me occasionally looking to the left, and you see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at a television screen hung up on my wall. So, anyways, as you can see, there's a lot of Green Hill Zone. There is quite a bit of it. They didn't lie. A lot of it, though, you can kind of see as long as you pause the game and tilt the camera. I'm kind of curious to see if you can see this rock. And, you know what, let's find out real quick. Yes, you can. You see? So a lot of it is stuff that you can actually see. The background terrain goes way out into the distance, though, which I guess is something you wouldn't have been able to see. Largely unnecessary, for sure. I don't want to abandon this stage until we see at least one of the sidekick characters running around in the background. Right. Let's see if I can find a question. Got nothing yet. Yeah, the psychic characters don't want to come out. Oh my god, I'm looking at myself in the live stream. It's freaking creepy. I chose not to go with light this time. I just kind of wanted to do this in the dark, and I'm kind of regretting it. Okay. Well, I held out for as long as I could. But it doesn't look like any of the sidekick characters want to come out right now. Oh! Oh! I spoke too soon. So, boom. Let's check out Tails. So, one of the things that they did was they did not port the models of any of the Sonic characters from another game. They made them from the ground up. And you can definitely tell, because there's a level of polish to them that you don't normally see in any of the Sonic games up to the point of Brawl. Like the really nice shadowing here in the eyeballs and stuff like that. But not to insult Sonic's art design. It's just that these characters match the the glowy but shadowy aesthetic of all the Smash Brothers Brawl characters. So, now that we've at least seen one, we're gonna move on. So, I hate how you missed Knuckles. I'm sorry, Waffle Bro. Okay. Gonna do. I know that I did this in a game tour, but a lot of people missed out on the Smash Brothers game tour. So, really quick, I just want to show this off as well because it's pretty good. Oh, I'll have to fix that later. See, this is why I do fixed camera, because the camera kind of moves around. But this is Shadow Moses Island. And you probably can't see my face at all right now because this is a darker stage. If you take the camera in here, you can see the hangar. It looks like the hangar that Metal Gear actually came from, even though I don't think it's supposed to be geographically accurate to Shadow Moses Island in the actual game. This looks like the Metal Gear hangar from Metal Gear Solid. And you can also see the helicopter pad that had the hind D, and you can also see the building off to the left here, where you can actually find a camera for the first time, as well as a chafe grenade, or chafe grenade, or whatever, however you're actually supposed to pronounce it. And there's the boxes where you find your first guard. It's pretty cool. I like it quite a bit. I wish it came back in Smash 4. 9D. Okay. We're actually going to go back real quick again to change the rules again, and then I'm going to save the settings so we don't have to do this again.
Choose your character. Ice Climbers.
Pokemon
Trainer.
Squirtle. Clearly the one Pokemon that should have came back for Smash 4, but maybe I just have a little bit of a bias. Save that. Boom. Done. Let me see. Have I fixed the bug, the draw distance bug in, no, well, it's not a bug, but the culling in Banjo-Kazooie? I haven't. I spoke with Swankybox, who you guys may know as another prominent YouTuber, and he says that there actually may be a way to do the Banjo-Kazooie episode. So I'm thinking about collaborating with him to, you know, essentially finally put it out. And you know, we had this idea. It's either going to be next month or maybe late this month, but we're planning on collaborating, one video on his channel and one video on my channel, and that video on my channel will be Banjo-Kazooie. I'm very, very excited about it. Swankybox is a really nice guy, so I'm very happy to be working with him, or you know, being given the opportunity to. So I hope it works out. So this is New Quark City. As you can see, it's one of the very few stages that care enough to actually show how it's propelled in the air. Let's see. One of the things is, yes, the tower goes so far up into the air that it eventually just dissipates. But it also, it's hard to ever notice that because it hangs above the clouds when you're actually playing in-game. I think see, in-game camera doesn't even really give you a good idea of just how high that tower goes. This is the limitation that you have when you're actually trying to see the tower without any sort of modification. But with the camera, that's how tall it actually is. Anthony Gomes says, just want to say thanks for making this forbidden knowledge known. This is endlessly interesting to me, and thank you, Anthony, for watching. I never really expected Boundary Break to kind of have the audience that it does. I just really wanted to share it with people because it was interesting to me. So, I'm really glad you enjoy it. It's by no means a chore for someone like me. I enjoy it just as much as you guys do. So, the honor's all mine. I like that. Unfortunately, you're not going to be you're not going to be able to see it from the outside, but there's a really nice cone going on for the Skybox. So, if we take the camera around, you can see it wraps all the way around. Now, if you remember from the Sonic stage, the black void is just right directly like in front of our characters, and that makes sense because you're never going to be able to see it. But for this stage, for some reason, the Skybox wraps itself all the way around, and it even has a ceiling. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not like Sonic Adventure 2, where if we take the camera outside the Skybox, you can see it for yourself. It's one-sided, and that's to save on memory. Anyways, I think most people are ready to move on from Newport City. Do I like my fans? You know what's funny? I don't consider myself to have fans. I like to think that I just have a lot of interested viewers. I don't think anyone's explicitly said that they're really a fan of me. They usually just give me compliments of what I do, and I am totally fine with that. And do I like them? I absolutely love all the comments. Even the crappy comments are great because they're usually entertainingly bad. They're not like the worst kind you can see on the internet. And you know, to all my haters out there, you know, thank you for being somewhat kind for comparison's sake. Although that's probably just a challenge to a lot of people, so I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyways, we're gonna move on to another stage. What's a stage that I haven't done before? Thank you, La Ren, for being my #1 fan. I can probably guess why. So I've done the Halberd already. You should watch the Brawl episode. It's a fantastic... No, I'm sorry, the Leftovers episode. It's a fantastic stage. Thank you, May Lodick. He also said that he was a fan of mine. I appreciate it. Alright, we'll do Spear Pillar, because I just saw that. So... Oh, okay, this... Wow. Alright, guys. You guys want to see pretty much all of the available stages. Oh, yes, we'll do Luigi's Mansion for a very specific reason. It's because it's a pretty well-known fact, but there's a Boo hiding underneath the bed in that stage, and I know that there's pictures available for it, but I will show you what it looks like live. This is the Spear Pillar. Pokemans. And it's... I really like this stage in particular. There's a lot of details in the back that you can't actually see, and it just has a really nice tone to it. But it wasn't featured in the episode because there really isn't anything that astounding to see. And if you notice, the Smash Brothers episodes all kind of had a pretty decent runtime. So that's a decent runtime of interesting stuff that like is shocking, at least in my mind. So a stage like this, it's fun to look at the perspective of it from another angle, but it doesn't offer anything like the other clips did in Smash Brothers episodes. Okay, so we're gonna move on from this stage now. Please do Onett. I'm gonna do that real quick. The reason why I didn't do Onett is because, and this is such a silly reason, I am a humongous fan of Earthbound. And I already saw pretty much everything that this stage had to offer because I was so curious to know myself, way before Boundary Break, that I looked for pictures and stuff, and I got to see how Onett looks. So I guess I did have an interest in boundary breaking and didn't even realize it. So this is Onett from an eagle's eye view, Eagle Land eye view. And, sorry, I won't do too much humor here. And as you can see, a lot of the buildings start off fully three-dimensional, and not fully three-dimensional, just pseudo 3D, because as you'll see in a moment, there won't be anything bad. See? But as you go further back, and as you all know, Super Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl were on standard definition consoles. It was very easy to get away with the idea of just having 2D textures as you got further and further away, because it was much harder with your trained eyes to be able to figure that fact out. Except for the crane here. I'm pretty sure we all knew that this was not 3D rendered. It just, for some reason, it stood out quite a bit. At least in my mind. The hospital, for some reason, and the hotel are also 3D rendered. 3D model. Sorry to all you sticklers out there. I just corrected myself, so forgive me. This is okay. Yeah. The geography here is not quite correct. I want to believe that this is supposed to be Ness's house. And this is supposed to be Pokey's house. And this is supposed to be Liar Exaggerate's house. But I don't know what this is supposed to be. This could be Ness's house. Oh yeah, let me show the rice ball. Sorry, let me do that right now. I just wanted to show you guys the meteorite. And this is the full texture of the meteorite. It's not much more. In fact, I think it's exactly what you're able to see. But yes, for those who don't know, and again, this is another thing that is incredibly common, and that's why I didn't think to put it in the episode, is that there's a rice ball in front of the drugstore, but you can't see it because it's hidden. Probably slow down a little too soon. And it's hidden behind a flower plant. We're gonna take a look at it right now. Oh, wrong one. Let's try door number 2. There it is. The rice ball. And it's actually not behind the flower plant, it's inside the flower plant. So, if anyone comes at you with this trivia that a lot of people seem to know at this point, it's usually reported as behind the flower plant, when in fact it's actually inside. See? There you go. You can also see that the telephone poles go deep into the ground. Which, for this game, is a little unusual. Mushroomy Kingdom next. You got it. Thanks for making this video. No problem, Punky. There's a sign here. And again, very common knowledge, but I love Earthbound, so I don't mind covering it. A black van driven by this guy has been spotted racing... What does that say? Recklessly through town. Be careful. And anyways, that's essentially it. You got your baseball field, which is also a little difficult to see, but you can see it in adventure mode in Melee. So, no boundary breaking required for that one. Okay, I like the rice balls in the chat room. Jason and that Sonic guy, nice job. Kudos. Unfortunately, one grumpy cat. I already covered Newport City. You'll be able to see it later as I upload this episode to YouTube. I'm pretty certain that I'm probably gonna end up uploading this live stream because I think it's going pretty well. What do you guys think? Also, if you guys have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. Just so that, you know, the commentary can keep itself a little bit interesting. So, Mushroomy Kingdom. Yes. Yes, fellas. We're doing it. We're doing it. I gotta admit, I was a little disappointed by Mushroomy Kingdom. Well, was I or wasn't I? I remember when it was first revealed, I thought it was really cool, actually. Because it's like, oh, wow. That's such a neat idea to consider what the first level of Mario Brothers would look like after all these years. But while it was a novel idea, it doesn't hold up in my mind. Unfortunately, when you revisit it, you're kind of like, oh yeah, they went with this route. So here's a couple buildings that were dilapidated, and they were in the background. Unfortunately, fixed camera's not going to help us out here. We're just going to have to fight against it. What was the first video game I ever played? That's an easy question. That was Super Mario Brothers on the NES, and officially the Duck Hunt Mario Brothers combo card. I got it when I was 5 years old from a family friend who was, I believe, well off, and so to kind of show off that he has money, he just bought me and my brother a Nintendo Entertainment System for Christmas. You know, I absolutely appreciate it. It made me into the gamer that I am today, and video games is such an incredible medium that I can't imagine myself not experiencing it. It's synonymous with television, movies, and music in my mind. So, thank you, family friend Steve. I can always pause. Why did I think of that? So... Thank you, Sonic Boom. He said that he's a fan of the channel. Here is the first castle that you go to. How cool is this? I love this so much. That they, you know, this is a modernized version of the castle that you're so used to seeing in Super Mario Brothers. They got a little mushroom here on the front. I think that's something that they had in the Super Mario Brothers 2 sequel for Japan. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a feature that was added to the sequel, and I think that's why it's here. And feel free to be nerd raged at that idea. Oh, look at that! It's fully modeled. Wonder why they went with that route, but that's awesome. Go inside the castle. I did actually, but oh, the flagpole. So yeah, I went inside. Unfortunately, there's nothing. Got some really cool looking pipes. They're all gated off because Bowser learned his lesson when he first did his tango against Mario in the Mushroom Kingdom. But unfortunately, he didn't gate off any pipes for future sequels. Anyways, I love AVGN. Matthew Vargas asked, no, I'm sorry, Melodic asked that question. And AVGN is, well, first of all, he's a pioneer, so in that you have to respect him no matter what. You might not be a fan of his sense of humor. I got used to it over time, but you have to respect the idea that he pioneered a genre of entertainment. And I think we all have him to thank for that. So, absolutely I love AVGN, and I watch any one of his videos, just not his recent Mike Matei stuff. I can't keep up with it. I actually don't mind Mike Matei. I think he seems like a nice guy. But it's become very clear that they're doing Let's Plays to kind of keep revenue up, and I'm just not interested in doing tuning in for that, really. So this is Battlefield, and Battlefield looks great. Alright, so some people want to see Delfino Plaza, and I don't mind. Wow, this is actually a really massive stage. You know, I was kind of just taking it for granted as I was explaining myself, but the platform is microscopic at this point. and that's the amount of environment that you're allowed to see, or rather that they took the time to make, and that's really incredible. I'm very impressed. I miss Trico. Oh. Well, guys, I've been playing The Last Guardian, by the way. This is probably the only opportunity I'm going to have to say this, because I can't really make a video about it, because I'll probably lose a whole bunch of subscribers, and YouTube will probably stop sending people my way. Normally I don't care about that, but, you know, I like having an audience. But I played The Last Guardian, and here's my review of it, which is not really a review. I just want to tell you how I felt about it. And the game is pretty incredible. Trico, which is the name of the beast from the game, is incredibly lifelike. I can't believe how lifelike this thing is. Oh, that's right. This is why I didn't cover this stage, because it doesn't load right for some reason. So I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to go to Delfino Plaza. This is just utter nonsense. Anyways, The Last Guardian. If you liked Eco, you will definitely like The Last Guardian. It kind of has the same core concepts, but by far the greatest innovation of The Last Guardian is Trico himself, which I cannot trick the game into making him behave like a video game object. And I know that sounds weird, but because of me as a boundary-breaking kind of guy, I like to mess with the game. And when developers put so much time and effort into trying to convince you that their characters and animals and whatever is realistic, I like to betray that expectation and see how much I can mess with it. I could not mess with Trico. No matter what I tried to do, Trico was lifelike. If I threw like a barrel in a corner or something, he would carefully try to pick the barrel out of the corner, and he would not clip into the wall or anything like that. It was utterly incredible. And I'm a couple hours in, and I'm really, really excited to finish the game. It's kind of short, which is good because, you know, I keep myself busy with an office job and then this on the side. And, of course, I have a girlfriend, so I have to make sure that I make time for her as well. She puts up with so much, and, you know, I appreciate it greatly. So for The Last Guardian to be such a short game is perfect for me. I can't wait to get through the entire 10-hour, 12-hour experience and let you guys know what I thought of the game as a whole. But so far, what a great investment. I can't wait to actually pop it in after this live stream and play some more. So, I know that a majority of my audience is probably Nintendo fans. It's kind of, you know, the nature of the beast. A lot of the best games to do boundary breaking for are Nintendo games. But if you have a PS4, I recommend checking it out. I know that Final Fantasy 15 is taking a lot of people's attention right now, but I implore you to give that game a chance. So, this is Delfino Plaza. It's very, very similar to Super Mario Sunshine, which is why I didn't cover this in the episode. One thing you'll notice that's unique to this version is that there isn't a little tiny volcano inside of this volcano, but, you know, that makes it less interesting than the one from Super Mario Sunshine, so you can imagine why I didn't put it in the episode. Have I done Norfair? No, I haven't, and I will show you guys right now.
3, 2, 1, go!
What's my favorite game? So, it's kind of tough to decide what my favorite game is. But I can tell you about, like, my top 5. How about that? Because, you know, video games offer vastly different experiences depending on what you're playing. As far as RPGs go, in Super Nintendo, my favorite game of all time is Earthbound. My favorite NES game is Star Tropics, because it's not just the fact that it's underrated, or underappreciated, rather. It's actually an incredibly great experience. It's a great adventure. And if you're able to stomach the difficulty and get yourself all the way through, which is now much easier with the NES Classic, you get an experience that is unlike anything else on the NES. And I'm not talking about just gameplay-wise, because if I was, then I could tell you that, yes, the original Legend of Zelda is quite simple. But the narrative that the game gives you, the environment that the game gives you. It's all incredibly unique and humorous. And for that, Star Tropics is my number 1 on the NES. My number 1 on the Nintendo 64 is Star Fox 64. It holds up so incredibly well, and it also pioneered so many things like the Rumble Pack, voice dialogue. Now I know that they weren't the first ones to do it, but it was the first Nintendo game to do it. And when you go back to it, you just will. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, I think we're ready to do the Subspace Emissary. Oh, that's right, Luigi's. Okay, so we're gonna just do Luigi's Mansion because I did say that I would do that, and then we're gonna move on to the Subspace Emissary. 30 minutes for stages, 30 minutes for the subspace. I think that's a pretty good balance. So, here is the well that is actually in Luigi's Mansion. As you can see, it doesn't run that deep. A couple of gravestones halfway, and then the stage actually ends. What's interesting about the fact that the stage ends is that there is a platform underneath it, or rather a pillar underneath it, and there's effects, there's graphical designs along the edges of the stage as well. Despite the fact that you're probably not going to see it in certain areas, like way back here. Now, oh, you know what? I might have to reset. In the rubble, you can see a teddy bear. But I don't think you're going to be able to see what I wanted you guys to see, so I might reset. Yeah. Yep, I'll reset. This painting actually is in Luigi's Mansion. I always thought that this painting in particular in Smash Brothers was really struck out to me, I suppose. I really enjoyed it. Oh. Okay. We're going to reset.
No contest.
Yep, I will look under the bed. It's just that it turned into rubble before I had a chance to. Okay, so, you guys ready? This is what any person will tell you is the biggest reason to boundary break Luigi's Mansion stage. See this crib here? Underneath the crib is a boot texture. It was just a cheeky little thing that the developers put in. And it was pretty much specifically meant for any person that would ever boundary break the game. So, you know, thank you, developers. Nintendo doesn't oftentimes put little, you know, Easter eggs in like that. So, Mr. Sakurai, I appreciate it. And yeah, that's the Luigi's Mansion, guys. I think we're gonna move on to Subspace Emissary now. Sonic Boom 579. The Green Hill Zone stage was the first thing that I did. So, feel free to check it out when I re-upload the episode, the live stream. Okay, so, boom. So this is easily the most interesting stage for Subspace Emissary, so naturally I picked it first. People want Port Town. Oh! Oh, crud! Okay. So, we will do Port Town after we take a look at all of this. So, this is like an abandoned zoo, I believe. And my goodness, there is so much to look at here. It's insane. I almost included this in the Smash Brothers episode, Smash Brothers Brawl episode, but I figured maybe I would save it for a Subspace Emissary episode. Which never happened. In my mind, it's just not worth it to do an entire episode dedicated to it. But it's a lot of fun to do live streams for stuff that I don't intend to use for an episode. It just makes sense, right? People do want to see it, regardless of the fact of whether or not I want to do an episode on it. So, we turn it into a live stream. And it gives me a chance to answer questions and stuff and just kind of relax. Let me see. It's the zoo from Earthbound Beginnings. That's an interesting theory. I don't believe there's enough to make that claim. I don't think. Unless there's geography here that really suggests it. Like right here, this could be where the monkeys were being held. And you come in from the left. That could be the case. That does kind of look like the geography of the zoo now that you mention it. But no, I believe there's supposed to be like a building right here. Where the Starman is. And he's like in a little capsule. Have I played Freedom Planet? I have never played Freedom Planet. I'm not even really sure what that is, to be honest. Which I'm ashamed to admit. Because I like to think that I'm a very avid gamer, so even if I haven't played something, I typically am made aware of it at least. Question. So, now that we've moved a little bit further ahead, we can check out more of the stage. So, what's interesting here is that we're actually going inside of a building, and I believe it becomes more apparent once you take it on its side. Yeah. See, look at this. Well, essentially, you're going inside of an actual building. It's not just a static design. It's not just a way to trap you in a tunnel. It's you going inside of an actual building, which I thought was incredibly cool. Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much. Well, now I feel like a goofball because you can clearly see it right there, and I just wasn't paying attention. Shame on me. I'm just gonna speed the game up, but I know that it messes up the live stream, so. Yeah, the cutscenes are just videos. Fortunately, I would love to be able to boundary break those because there's a lot of unique renders for those, but unfortunately, they are not in-game. I know that the Pokey statue falls into the water here. So how about we find out what happens when he does fall into the water? Okay. Can you dab, she says. I'm too old to dab. Oh, look at that. He's stuck in the water. Very and then he disappears. That makes a lot of sense, because there he is again. Ah! And I remember when I first did this, I was completely frightened by the idea of the Pokey statue. Drove me nuts. How old? Matthew Vargas asks, "How old am I?" Oh no, a couple people are asking me how old I am. I'm 30 now. I just turned 30 this year. Yeah, I'm an oldie. Not too old to dab. Well, thank you. Just inside the statue. As you can see, his head is a separate entity from his body, because his base, the base where the neck should be, has its own texture. Same goes for the feet as well. There's joints that connect the body to the foot. And there you go. That's the whole joint. Everybody loves joints. Very cool. Yeah, I get it very often that I look younger than I am, which I suppose is a good thing. But for how long? We'll find out. Here's Pokey, stuck inside the... Oh, I can't remember the name of the machine, unfortunately. Now, it's disgusting how much detail is on Pokey right now. You can see like the veins and the wrinkles of his face. And I could never tell if that's supposed to be a mustache underneath his nose, or if it's just a weird lighting design. I'm pretty sure it's a mustache, though. Ugh. I do want to do a boundary break episode of the Halo series. That would be great. It's not impossible. It's actually incredibly viable. So expect an episode eventually. Now, I'm only showing you this because I know that there's nothing inappropriate here. So relax. Ooh. Who wants ice cream, guys? Yeah, I'm going to do Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games eventually. It's not a very popular game, surprisingly, considering the mesh of the two characters. I did own it. I really enjoyed Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I just didn't like the idea that their first crossover game was the Olympic Games. What were they thinking? But it ended up being a good game anyway. So, okay. Is there anything outside the Skybox? We'll check with the next level. Okay, we're gonna check the Skybox. I always forget to check the Skybox. So this is how it looks, and just the void. Probably can't see my face right now. Bring it back. Surprised you guys don't mention how utterly creepy I look in the bottom right hand corner right now. It's like, right now I broke your heart? Why did I break somebody's heart? Can I do the custom stages? I could. Do you refuse to do episodes on PC games with no clip commands built in, since anyone can load up the game and look around for themselves? I don't refuse to do it. The problem is that so many of you have easy access to games that do have that. And that's not to say that I'll never ever do it. It's just that, you know, there's so many episodes where you can't do it. And I'm able to offer a perspective that is a lot harder for most of you to see when the game doesn't have no clip built in. So I'm kind of like waiting on games like Half-Life 3 and Duke Nukem 3D and all that stuff. Because, I mean, let's be honest, if you own the game, you essentially can do it. But I'll still do an episode. It's just that I kind of want to do it when I'm starting to run out of options. Because there's, you know, there's just still so many more games that need it so much more right now, unfortunately. But yeah, so it's the canyon level. Did I, whoops, did I say Half-Life 3? Shoot, that's not good. Valve's not gonna like the fact that I didn't apply. Dang it! I was gonna do a joke, but I ruined it. Of course, I ruined such a good joke. I was gonna say non-disclosure agreement, but I couldn't get it out. I apologize. I'm not typically a live streamer. I'm not a Let's Player, as you can tell. That's not my forte. What do we want to look at next? Yes, I broke NDA. That's what I meant to say. Where do I want to go, you guys? The lake? Do we want to fight? Oh, you know what? We'll do the home run contest. Home run contest. Do a creepy face? How about that? Was that good enough? My boy Wolf. Why did they cut him? He was my favorite character in Brawl. I loved using Wolf. I was so good with him. Yeah, look at my skills. Look at all those no hits. See, it's a whole new world, you guys. It's a dazzling place that you never knew. But now from way up here, it's crystal clear. Ah, look at that. You know what's really funny? Something you may not have noticed. The announcer box for a home run contest is the Smash Brothers logo. Kinda. A little bit. See? It's just flattened. What am I gonna do when I hit 100,000 subscribers? Nothing. I'm gonna take my hat off when I hit 1 million. I'm gonna take my hat off. You know what? For 100,000 subscribers, I'll show you guys Pat. You'll finally get to see what Pat looks like. I should boundary break Skyward Sword. Yeah, I can do that. I hate to admit this, but I wasn't a huge fan of Skyward Sword. So and of course I have to play through the entire game in order to do a episode proper. That's the thing holding me back the most, honestly, is I didn't enjoy Skyward Sword. I played through it so that I could say that I played through every single Zelda game, but it's definitely one of my least favorite out of the entire series. But I will do the episode. I owe it to everyone. I can't not do it. And I bet you there is going to be some interesting stuff that that we've never seen before. So that should really be the motivating factor, not whether or not I enjoyed the game. Look at the detail on the bottom of this dome here. It's really cool. Let's see. Is the crowd... So the crowd is basically just a mess. There actually is people. When you take it close enough, you can see there's actually drawings of people. I wish that I could do a little highlight here, but for example, there's a guy in a blue shirt, and I'm gonna zoom in on him. And as you can see, he has his arm up. He's right-handed. He has his right hand up. He has his left hand over his hip, and his head is at the top there. It's the white square. And every person also has a white square for a head. So someone's asking me to boundary break the Subspace Emissary map. You're going to be really disappointed. It's a 2D texture. But once we go back to Subspace Emissary, I'm going to just prove it to you so that you can be satiated, my friend. Okay, I figured this was going to be fully modeled, but I was just curious. Yep. Should I, oh, you know what I should do, you guys? I should hit the sandbag as far as I can and show you what that looks like.
Ready, go!
Yo, check out my scrub skills.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh no! Alright, we'll try that again.
Go!
I swear, if I don't get it this time, I'm giving up, unfortunately.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Did better the last time, I just didn't actually hit the sandbag. Okay, you guys ready? What? People keep saying I should use Twitch, and I know that like all the YouTubers use Twitch, but I don't see the point. YouTube does such a great, it does just as good in my mind. Oh, as you can see, the draw distance of the measurement actually doesn't go that far. Very cool. GoldenEye would be a very fun game to do.
Ready, go!
After the Banjo-Kazooie episode, if whatever we do to... Whoops. See this? How about that, you guys? I wasn't planning on doing this, but... That's interesting. That is so interesting. It's actually a complete circle. Huh. There you go. I learned something new. Very cool. I like that. Okay, so Subspace Emissary map. Someone was like, do a zoom out of it. And this is what happens when you zoom out of the Subspace Emissary map. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll do the target levels next. It's actually really interesting that there's anything at all when you zoom out the map. As you can see, that texture, though, is resting on top of this gray background, which is kind of cool. There you go. I do plan to boundary break 2D games, Super Nintendo games, fairly soon. The first one I probably will do is A Link to the Past. It's possible, and so long as I find enough interesting stuff, I'll do it. Of course. Let me see, what else was it? Oh, break the targets, that's right. Port Town? Okay. Sounds good to me. What happens if you boundary break the masterpieces? Oh, yeah, it works. It's just, it has that weird camera angle issue that all the Nintendo 64 games have. But it works. I would love to do Crash Bandicoot. Activision, if you're listening to me, I know you have a demo of the new Crash Bandicoot game. I want it. I will feature it on my channel, and I would love to play it. So, yes, I am being a sellout for Crash Bandicoot. Please, please, please. I want to play.
All-Star mode. Captain Falcon. Ready, go!
There we go. I notice you, Mig MH. Rest in peace, John Lennon. I think I'm kind of surprised that you still hung up over that. I mean, he was a great musician, though. I respect that statement, I suppose. And if, yeah. Anyways. Here's the cool thing about the waiting room for the Brawl version of All-Star mode, is that there's a square. I don't know why there's a square here outside of the initial area. Makes no sense to me. But isn't this cool? Look at this. There's even enough lighting for you to see what's the square. And there's, well, this makes sense. This is the white light that comes from looking up. See? Ah, the light. But then, once you get past it, you're in your little square box. It's a box. There's even a back end to the box. There's a black wall to the box. I'm pointing at the TV right now. You can't see it. But this is blowing my mind. Now, hold on a second. What? Alright, here's another thing that's blowing my mind. I always knew that the camera was really, really restricted for this area, right? Check it out. This is literally as far as I can take it to the left. But for what reason, really? Because there's some interesting details here. Like, for example, this other skylight. You will never be able to see that. This skylight does not exist in your world, as you know Smash Brothers, without Magic Camera. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all for the camera to be restricted, period. Again, if we were to pause the game and we were to move the camera around freely like it was a normal stage, this is about as much as you get to see. What's wrong with that? Why aren't we allowed to see that? There's details over there. It makes no sense. You guys like that? Alright, we got time for one more thing. What do you guys want? Make it either a stage, or break the targets, or whatever. Please do the Rayquaza boss fight. So that's an option. Just waiting for the chat room to catch up to what I just said. So. It looks like you guys can't really agree on. Okay. Oh, Peardian. Peardian is the reason why we're doing this live stream in the first place. So please thank Peardian, if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not, sir. And he says that we should check out the Target Stage 2, which I'm going to do. He did say that there's something interesting about it, so let's find out what he's talking about.
Break the targets. Ready, go!
Is this Stage 2? I'm not gonna leave the stream until we do this one last part, so, you know, don't worry. Okay, so there's target smash, right?
Break the targets.
But I don't think I got to pick what stage I wanted. Oh. Oh, here we go. Right? What? There should be an option to change this, right? Am I wrong? What's going on? Someone want to tell me real quick why I can't choose my stage? Is that... Maybe I just gotta beat the stage first? Try that. Okay, yeah. So I just gotta beat level 1. Oh, I was looking so sick with all these target breaks. But... Okay. Back. No, that didn't work. You gotta unlock them in classic mode. Okay. Let's do that. If it's worth it, then we'll do it.
Versus Sheep and Toon Link. Ready, go!
Oh, this stage is making my eyes hurt. I apologize to everyone else. The soundtrack is Harmony of Heroes, by the way. You can find it on YouTube. It's fan music, not made by me, so if you like the music and you want to hear more of it, 7 hours of it, in fact, you can look it up in the search engine and have a great time. Tell them that She Says sent you. Oh my goodness. Nope, that just solves that problem.
Versus Pikachu and Charizard. Ready,
Oh no. I need chaos control. I agree. Someone just said that wolves a badass. Correct. That's the end of you. Okay. Have I heard of Nintendo Switch? It may have come up before. Yeah, I'm really excited about the Nintendo Switch. I'm excited about every single Nintendo console.
ready, go!
Where's Ike? Oh. I think what I'm most excited about is the idea of Smash 4 port, and hopefully it comes with at least 1 or 2 extra characters, but maybe that's just expecting too much. Please do the Rayquaza boss fight. I'm sorry, man, I just don't have time. I'm actually spending a little bit of extra time here just to break the targets. Is this stage 2, you guys? You guys know if this is stage 2? Ooh. Look at this. It's reused assets from Subspace Emissary. Now that is interesting. Look at that. Thank you, Peardian. By the way, Peardian has his own YouTube channel where he models Smash Brothers trophies. I feel like that's very relevant to the live stream that I'm checking out right now. So if you guys want to see some fan-made trophies, I recommend you check out his channel. There's some really good stuff. It's really high quality too. It's definitely not amateur hour with Peardian's channel. There's platforms over here. That is so funny. Good stuff. Great way to end the live stream. Yes, the live stream is ending. Fellas, and probably the 3 ladies, maybe less, thank you so much for joining me in another live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope to see you all very soon. I'm hoping that Wario World will be out this Sunday. If not, I'm ashamed of myself, but it will be very, very soon. So, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Let me know if you liked the live stream. I'll stick around for 5 minutes after I end the live stream here. So, don't leave just yet. Thank you guys. Take care.